Hello again. This morning I got a recommendation in the YouTube. Yeah, what is it? The homepage or something, however you want to call it. Most of those are garbage. Depends a bit on what you watch. For example, when I watched a few videos to check out the differences again of the Arctic P12 and F12 and compared to the Noctua PC fans. I got recommendations of that stupid Linus guy, and I can't stand his face, and another few Gamers Nexus, which I watched one or two videos, I thought they were extremely low in information quality, and Jay's something, same thing, just garbage. These people can't analyze, they're just useless. By the way, I saw this was a guy testing the Threadripper from AMD, running, 1,000 copies of Doom at the same time. And here some guy says, CPU benchmarking videos sure are improved by a lack of obnoxious ads and no annoying hosts. And yeah, I guessed what he was talking about. This Linus guy here, poor Linus guy. Why is poor? Not poor. He makes a shitload of money making garbage videos. And I know they're garbage even without watching them, simply from the how many he puts out, the titles, the thumbnails, etc. I actually thought he meant Gamers Nexus. I was actually thinking of precisely both. Can I please add that J bloke? So that these people hate exactly the same people that I dislike. I mean, they're making crap videos. Linus is generally annoying. Steve's not annoying. I don't know who Steve is. It's from that Gamers Nexus or something. Linus is entertaining. No, he's not entertaining. He's just crap. And they have large. If you're fine with one, you're much more likely to be fine with all. Yeah, because they're all just abusing certain things in the YouTube promotion algorithm and certain way, thumbnails, etc. Anyway, doesn't really matter. Okay, that's it. Let's go to spinlauch, Thunderf00t. And this guy doesn't really do a good job. He makes some criticism that is valid, but one thing that is really, really obvious that is a problem, he doesn't address because he doesn't know how to analyze properly. So, let's go here. Here it starts.
I mean, one of the things you'll notice about their test here is their shell doesn't come out straight. Basically, their release mechanism is screwed up or something, which is not entirely unsurprising.
No, it has nothing to do with the release mechanism. That could also be a contributing factor, but I'll show you what really goes on.
The centrifuge is doing about 2 revolutions per second, or it's rotating about 700 degrees per second.
So why does he say 700 degrees? About 700 degrees. It's 2 revolutions per second. Why don't you just say 720, as you say here? About 720, if it's about 2 revolutions per second. It's weird. It's weird.
Per second, call it 1,000, which means that if you want a trajectory within 1 degree, you have to get the timing release within about a millisecond.
A millisecond is no problem for any electronics, even analog. It could be a problem for the release mechanism. So how to disengage this missile so that you no longer push or carry it, however you want to call it. And let's see.
That's maybe not their problem here. Their projectile is tumbling. In fact, they were actually fairly lucky that they didn't destroy their chamber.
Yeah, it's tumbling, but he doesn't explain why. And even though he mentions something like this, he doesn't explain it. But I will explain it. 10, 10, 10, 10.
Something's very not quite
Yeah,
right.
here shows that the tip comes out here and the tail there.
Then you would expect the exit point of
Okay.
the back. What?
So that's quite a difference. Why is that?
The missile being thrown up into the
now he shows a trajectory. That'll show you something interesting, and I'll explain why this is, but he doesn't do that.
Go through this frame by frame. So the missile is there. That's like rotated by almost 90
No,
degrees.
wait a minute, I need to go back.
That's a huge twist to have on their missile. And okay, well, let's take a look at the actual bit where you can actually see the missile being thrown up into the sky.
Oh no, it's probably
and
further.
Like, hang on, is that really tumbling like I think it's tumbling? If we go through this frame by frame.
Oh no, it comes after that. He says there's a reason for that, but then he doesn't explain. So he shows the trajectory. Yes.
Almost 90 degrees. Then it's normal again. Now it's 90 degrees again. And that's basically it. And yeah, if you think that's not flying in a very straight line, there's probably a good reason for it. It looks like it shoots off to the side first, and then after spinning for a bit, actually straightens out. And the reason for that, well, you actually go through and plot up a trajectory for it.
Yeah, the reason for that, but he doesn't give a reason for why it happens. So I will show you what happens. It's this. You have the rocket here. He rotates around. The tip and the tail are actually at different diameters. They're further away from the center of the circle. This means, if you look at any place that moves in circular motion, the direction of motion is perpendicular to the point towards the center. So you have the center to the point, and this moves this direction. This point, the tail, moves in this direction. This center moves like this. So if they release it with the center of gravity going towards the exit, then what happens is this will still have rotation because mass has this point has a speed like this point has a speed like this, so it's actually in continual rotation, this thing. So think now back to that thumbnail that I showed you at the start. What happens then if this gets released is that it starts to rotate, because speed is, or impetus of a object is something that is kept, that is not immediately gone, like acceleration. Acceleration can just disappear. Speed does not. So this has a speed like this has a speed like this, which means it rotates. So and the center of gravity has a speed like this, so it goes like this, plus it rotates. So it comes out like this after a while with a forward speed. If it hits the atmosphere, what happens then is it glides off in that direction because of the air. This is exactly what you see here. And here, approximately, then it has stabilized for whatever reason. And he says it's tumbling. I haven't really looked at it exactly, but the point is he does not understand this. And he thinks it's something to do with the release mechanism or something. But this is a huge problem. It's not described anywhere. I also watched this video. I thought maybe these guys have it. Can we throw satellites to space? Spin launch, real engineering. And they do not describe this issue at all in the video. I went through it with fast forwarding, but I didn't see anything. If they understood it, it would have been clear. Then it would have been mentioned somewhere as a huge problem. Learn to think. Yeah, he needs to do that himself. Oh my God. Yeah, this Thunderf00t is what I don't like about him. He talks as if he talks joking, like laughing at people all the time. And you can do that sometimes, but not through an entire video. It's a really annoying way to talk, and I don't like his videos at all. He also has an issue with Elon Musk, criticizing him all the time. I don't know what his problem is. Thunderf00t, let's click on the channel, videos. Genius Musk. He's talking about Musk all the time, blah, blah, blah. World dumbest rebranding in history. Musk again, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Tesla, yeah, this fail, whatever. Here's an issue with Musk. That is not something you do if you just. And I don't like the titles either. I mean, if you see something that you don't that is nonsense or so, okay, make a video about it. But why concentrate so much on Musk? He has produced at least something real. Well, a lot that is real. Yeah. Oh, by the way, one thing I wanted to mention about, for example, these types of videos, is why does anyone watch them? I mean, for most people, there's no point in watching them. If you're in school, you're either at an educational level where you probably haven't had enough mathematics for some types of videos, or you already have enough and then it's not interesting for you. For whom is it interesting? I don't understand it. I sometimes use them just as to keep myself thinking in a more mathematical, analytical way of thinking, instead of almost always last few years when I've been doing psychological research more, in a different mode. So there are different types of thinking. I talked to some guy in Kiev several years ago, in 2017, I think. He mentioned a book, Thinking Fast and Slow, but it has nothing to do with fast and slow thinking. Analytical thinking, like mathematical analytical thinking, is very different from the normal daily use thinking, which is also different from how should I call it, psychological analytical thinking. I deal with all these things in my project to understand everything. I describe how it works and how switching works, because I don't know if you ever had that. For example, if switching between thinking in mathematics or thinking in language. If you had a subject at school, then I was thinking, I've had it once long ago, of course. I was in school, so I was in a class for, English, I think. And some guy came, and these were classes where you could do tests, where you had to, sort of assignments you had to finish, and you could do it in your own time. That was how that school worked. They had a lot of that. And one guy came to me, or one boy, I should say, asking something about mathematics, and I just couldn't switch my thinking from language thinking to mathematical thinking. It took a really long time. It was weird. It's got a lot better since then, but that shows there are different types of thinking. And for example, this one here, man exposes low IQ modern women. This is not new either. I've seen this long ago, many months ago, and this is not someone who's just stupid, but this is the difference between thinking normal standard way and not knowing certain things, and analytical thinking, mathematical analytical thinking, psychological analytical thinking. They're all different, and you cannot just for most people, it just cannot just change from one mode to the other on the spot. So if someone asks, for example, on the street, ask something about mathematics, then probably they will say they don't know, even though they know, because they've had it in school and they're able to solve these problems, but they can't on the spot because they can't switch their thinking immediately. That's an interesting topic, but okay, that's it for now, I think. Yeah, let me know what you think. I was thinking about making a video about. I will make a sort of a question video about it, about doing some analysis on people and situations, but that will come later. So, yeah, maybe this was of interest. Bye for now.